GPT-5.5 Spud, the smartest AI ever made, has an 86% hallucination problem. OpenAI just dropped GPT-5.5, codenamed Spud, and it's simultaneously the highest-scoring AI model ever built and the biggest liar of any flagship model, with an 86% hallucination rate. I analyzed 38 independent sources, benchmarks, developer forums, hands-on tests, and OpenAI's own system card to break down exactly what Spud gets right, what it gets dangerously wrong, and whether it's worth the doubled price tag. What is GPT-5.5 Spud and why does it matter? Released April 23, 2026, GPT-5.5, internally codenamed Spud, is not just another incremental update. This is the first model OpenAI has trained entirely from scratch since GPT-4.5. Every model from GPT 5.0 through 5.4 was a refinement or fine-tune of the same base. Spud is a genuinely new foundation, and that distinction matters enormously. So why now? OpenAI has been in an internal code red state since December 2025 due to competitive pressure from Anthropic's Claude and Google's Gemini. Spud is their answer, released just 1 week after Anthropic launched their latest model. Chief scientist Jakub Pachocki admitted the last 2 years of model progress have been, quote, surprisingly slow, positioning Spud as the breakout moment. Greg Brockman called it a faster, sharper thinker for fewer tokens and a big step towards more agentic and intuitive computing. Nearly 200 early access partners tested it before the public release. It's natively omnimodal, processing text, images, audio, and video in a single unified system. Right now, it's available to Plus, Pro, Business, and Enterprise ChatGPT users, as well as in Codex. API access is coming very soon. It's been delayed while OpenAI implements cybersecurity guardrails. But here's the behavioral shift that benchmarks can't fully capture. Spud doesn't ask you 15 clarifying questions anymore. You give it a messy, vague prompt, and it autonomously breaks down the problem and plans its own execution. That's not just a capability upgrade. It's a fundamental change in how you interact with the model. The benchmark domination, where Spud crushes the competition. According to Artificial Analysis's independent testing, not OpenAI's marketing, here's what the numbers actually show. Terminal Bench 2.0 for coding agents, 82.7%. That crushes Claude Opus 4.7 at 69.4% and Gemini 3.1 Pro at 68.5%. We're talking a 13-plus point lead on autonomous coding tasks. If you're building software agents, this is the model to beat right now. RCAGI-2 for novel reasoning, 85%, an 11.7 percentage point jump over GPT 5.4. This is the single biggest improvement across all benchmarks, and it's particularly meaningful because ARCAGI-2 measures problems that don't exist in training data. This is genuine reasoning ability, not memorization. Frontier Math Tier 4, the hardest graduate-level math problems, 35.4%. That's more than double Gemini 3.1 Pro's 16.7% and well ahead of Opus 4.7 at 22.9%. Expert SWE, a benchmark built around coding tasks that take human experts 20 hours to complete, 73.1%. Let that sink in. Spud handles nearly 3/4 of full workday programming challenges. On the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, Spud is now #1 overall with 59 points, breaking what had been a 3-way tie with Opus and Gemini. It wins on 9 out of 10 shared benchmarks versus GPT 5.4, but it doesn't win everything, and this is important. Claude Opus 4.7 still leads SWE Bench Pro for real-world bug fixing at 64.3% versus Spud's 58.6%. That's a 5.7-point gap. And Anthropic's unreleased Claude Mythos preview outperforms Spud on SWE Bench Pro at 77.8%, OS World at 79.6%, and BrowseComp at 86.9%. No single model wins everything anymore. And that's the reality of the 2026 AI landscape. The 86% hallucination problem, the elephant in the room. Here's the number nobody at OpenAI is putting in their marketing materials. On the AA Omniscience benchmark, specifically designed to measure how often a model confidently tells you something wrong, GPT 5.5 hallucinates at 86%. For comparison, Claude Opus 4.7 hallucinates at 36%, Gemini 3.1 Pro at 50%. Spud is the worst offender of any flagship model by a massive margin, 2.4 times worse than the best competitor. But here's the paradox that makes this so fascinating. Spud also achieved the highest accuracy ever recorded on that same benchmark at 57%. Both things are true simultaneously. How is that possible? Because Spud never says, "I don't know." It always answers confidently, even when it's guessing. So when it's right, it's impressively right. But when it's wrong, it's confidently, convincingly wrong. And it's wrong far more often than its competitors. Real developers on Reddit and the OpenAI community forums are reporting this exact experience. Multiple users describe severe hallucinations, especially in technical explanations. Futurism published conversation logs where Spud presented country GDP figures that were literally double the actual values, stated with complete confidence. This creates a very clear use case split. GPT 5.5 is phenomenal for coding, reasoning, agentic work, and complex math, tasks where the answer is verifiable. It is genuinely dangerous for factual question and answer, citation-heavy research, regulatory content, or anything where you can't independently check the output. For those tasks, Claude Opus 4.7 with its 36% hallucination rate is the much safer choice. OpenAI has acknowledged this problem. They stated in a blog post that hallucinations persist because their evaluation methods, quote, encourage guessing rather than honesty about uncertainty. They're aware of it. But as of today, Spud still doesn't know how to say, "I'm not sure." Let's talk money. API pricing for GPT 5.5 is $5 per million input tokens and $30 per million output tokens, exactly double GPT 5.4's pricing. There's also a GPT 5.5 Pro mode for maximum accuracy at $30 input and $180 output per million tokens. But here's the counterintuitive part. OpenAI claims Spud uses roughly 40% fewer output tokens per task than GPT 5.4. Independent developer Mejba Ahmed confirmed this, completing the same solar system simulation in 10 minutes with 70,000 tokens versus Opus 4.7's 12 minutes. Token generation speed is up over 20%, and Spud matches GPT 5.4's per token latency despite being a more powerful model. There's also the GPT 5.5 thinking mode that extends internal compute time for self-verification on complex tasks, which could further reduce wasted tokens. The context window is 1 million tokens on the API and 400,000 in Codex. Batch and flex pricing comes in at half the standard rate. So while the per-token sticker price doubled, your actual monthly bill for similar workloads could land in a very similar range, or even lower. GPT 5.5 Spud is a genuine generational leap, the first new base model trained from scratch since GPT 4.5, and it dominates 9 out of 10 benchmarks. But the 86% hallucination rate on factual knowledge is not a footnote. It's a fundamental architectural choice. It is actively dangerous for research without human verification. The real takeaway for 2026 is this: no single model wins everything. Multi-model routing is becoming the standard approach. Pick the right tool for the right job. I brought you this analysis from 38 independent sources with zero sponsorship or affiliation. No affiliate deals, no sponsor reads, just the data. If this breakdown helped you understand GPT 5.5 beyond the marketing hype, hit subscribe. I analyze every major AI release with this same depth and honesty. Drop a comment below. Are you planning to use Spud for coding, research, or something else entirely? I want to know which use cases matter most to you. And share this video with someone who's considering upgrading, especially that hallucination stat. They need to see it before they trust their next project to this model.